Good morning. I'm working on another video. I wanted to do one. This topic of this video is going to be my website and my book, and just kind of a sales pitch for my website and my book. Holistic home office is I think a great topic. The timing is right with all this COVID lockdown and everything. Everybody's locked in their apartments, and learning how to make money in there and be productive in your home office is a good idea, and it's something, a valuable thing to do. And so that's what this website's about. And I you know it's I the reason I got my little 2 column website is I like the width of the column with the stories. The stories to me is the most important thing. The look, and the arrangement of the stories, and is kind of amateur, I think. My writing style is not very great. It's kind of amateur, but the content of the stories is really valuable, I believe. And people who come to this website and read the stories are going to learn something valuable. And it doesn't matter who you are, even really smart computer programmers are going to learn things by reading these stories, and that's what I am as a storyteller. I feel like I'm a holistic healer and teacher. That's what I do. And I'm a very high performance holistic healer and teacher, and I recommend that you read all the stories. Not so much the blog is more of it's like a journal that I'm writing about what I'm doing and the development of the website. The stories in the website, there's the blog, and then there's the articles under the menu on the right, the top right. There's a menu, and every one of those is a story, and there's a bunch of stories underneath of each one of those sections. Business and computer and website and artisan, and Spice. Spice means spirit. It's an ancient Indo-European word that means spirit. And so, because it's holistic home office, which means you got to take care of yourself. You got to be healthy, eat natural whole food. Don't take any drugs. Drugs degrade, using drugs degrades human consciousness every time, both acutely and chronically. Being intoxicated is a degraded state of consciousness, and some of that harm is permanent. It's every time you use drugs, it damages your brain. I mean, that's just common sense. I mean, you don't have to be a doctor to understand that. And so, don't use drugs. Eat natural whole food. Take care of your spiritual affairs. You got it. Your relationship with God. There's a God. I believe there's a God, and you got it. And your relationship with God is between you and God. There's nobody has anything to say about that except you and God. And so, pay attention to that. Take care of that, and exercise. I like qigong is my favorite exercise. It's kind of there's motion involved. I have really bad posture, and so I thought that would be a really good exercise. And I wish I did it more consistently on a daily basis instead of doing it every once in a while, But yeah, it's the website. I've organized the website. I actually kind of like the design. I wish it was, these new websites. Everybody's got these beautiful websites, and mine's kind of old-fashioned. This is like an old-fashioned style from way back when websites first came out. And but the reason I like it is the stories. The columns are just about the right width for reading. I don't like reading like these you know, text that goes all the way across my browser, you know, because it's like it just doesn't feel right. And so these columns are about the right width. And then I got all my other extra little advertising and stuff on the right hand column, the little narrow right hand column. And I feel like that's a fairly good design. It's easy to read. It's designed for reading, you know, is what I want, is for people to be able to read the stories and be comfortable with that. And I started adding videos, and I think the videos are very valuable addition. You know, I never even really thought about it until one day I thought, I wonder what would happen if I tried to make a video with this phone, because I have a pretty good phone, and it's a Samsung Note 9, and it's got 500 gigabytes of memory, so it's pretty good phone, and I'm using it, and it works pretty good. The audio doesn't work very good, and you know, it'll be a lot nicer if I could get a real camera and with a microphone. But for now, I'm using what I got. You know, the website, I got to use what I got, and it's going pretty good. But reading the stories, you know, my style, like I say, my writing style is pretty, you know, amateur. You know, I'm not a super great writer, I think. My writing usually starts out really rough, and I edit and polish the stories. I improve the stories over time, and I keep doing that, and they get better and better. And you know, my plan is for these stories, it's kind of an outline. The website is an outline, and some of the stories are just basically, I'm going to write a story here about this topic eventually, and but I keep improving the stories because I keep learning, for one thing, and I want to help people. I want to help as many people as possible. I have suffered a lot in my life. I was a drug addict, and I kicked the drugs 30 years ago, and I've been clean for 30 years, and I want to help as many people as I can recover from whatever it is you're, you know, recovering from, and you know, just help people improve themselves, even if you're not recovering from anything. If you're just a person trying to improve yourself, reading this website can help. Reading these stories will help. You know, and you're still going to be you. You know, I'm not trying to. You know, one of the major themes, the most important thing is spirituality. Take care of your spirituality. And next to that is no bullies allowed anywhere on earth. I mean, that bullying, nobody is more or less important than anyone else. Everybody is important, but nobody is more important than anybody else, and nobody's less important than anybody else. And that is like one of the most important things. If you want to build a sustainable city or a sustainable civilization, that's you know, those are the two most important things: spirituality and everybody's equal. And justice, you know, I always like to say it is oppression is the absence of justice, and justice is the absence of oppression. And you know, freedom, equality, and justice for all people everywhere is like important. You know, freedom to create things that nobody else ever thought of. You know, freedom, free enterprise. You know, and freedom of religion, and freedom of conscience, and freedom of speech are all valuable. You know, there has to be some limits. You know, we don't want people, you know, big corporations vacuuming up all the fish in the ocean, and you know, so you have to have controls. We don't want our houses falling down in earthquakes and hurricanes, so there has to be building codes and stuff like that. You know, that's natural, that's healthy, you know, and but so there has to be some kind of leadership and governance. You know, people must be governed. Civilized human beings must be governed. That's civilization. You know, that's what it is. And so but how people are governed is important. You know, and so and it has to involve freedom, equality, and justice for all. It has to maximize freedom. In equality is just, it's like the law of gravity. It just is, whether you believe it or not. And justice, that's kind of like the primary purpose of the government is justice. Make sure everybody, there's a level playing field. Everybody is equal, and there's no bullies. That's one of the most important things the government does, is defend everybody against any kind of bullies. And we've got to be on guard against the government becoming a bully, because we don't want, we need big business, and we need a government strong enough to govern big business. Big business is valuable. It does things no small business can do. And so, big business is a good thing. I'm not against that. Private, I'm a kind of a capitalist. I believe in private property and private enterprise, free enterprise. That's what I think is the most productive system. It's the most fair system. And because that way people get paid for their efforts. You work hard, you produce valuable products and services, and you earn it, and so you get paid for what you produce, and that's fair. And we should promote that and protect that and make sure it's well governed. I mean, because it's not, freedom and anarchy are two different things. Freedom is lawful, anarchy is lawless. Wild is lawless. Wild, animals are wild, and that's good. That's the way they were designed. That's the way that's natural for them. Civilized human beings are governed by naturally. That's what the difference between a wild animal and a civilized human being is the rule of law. So seek the truth, find out what the rules are. God makes the rules, and then we elect our leaders, and those leaders are accountable to God. They're not accountable to the people. They're just like every human being is accountable to God. And we need to practice that in our lives and enforce that in our society, and because that's what the spiritual kingdom of God is God makes the rules, and everybody follows the rules that God makes, and including our leaders. And so, but reading these stories is going to open your mind to new opportunities. It's almost one of the biggest problems I've always had is understand what questions do I need answers to. I don't even know what the right question is. And a big part of this website is to kind of help you figure that out. If you're off by yourself trying to learn how to do computers and websites and stuff like that, this website, it's not a technical manual. It's more of a story about the subject. And I definitely recommend that you read the whole, read a bunch of them. You don't have to necessarily read all of the stories, but read read the stories, the articles, and watch the videos, and you'll learn a lot. And I'll get better. I'll improve it. I'll keep adding to it, and I'll keep editing and polishing it, and the stories will get better and better. And enjoy. I think this is a good way. I imagine millions and millions of little home office based businesses teaching and creating a marketplace, a free marketplace on the internet, this global cloud of artificial intelligence, and just learn how to do this and get in there and start creating something valuable. Start producing content and presenting it, in as beautiful and valuable as a presentation as you can. So have a great day, and enjoy the content, and learn as much as you can, and have fun making the world a better place. Thank you.